Now, speaking of Bitcoin, um, I've just been having so much fun with Bitcoin because the last few calls that I've made on it has been just absolutely nailing it to exactly the levels that VWAP shows, which makes me wonder why more people aren't talking about the VWAP levels, but whatever, because it hit exactly those things. And I have a small hope, suspicion that the sell off is not done in Bitcoin and that we're going to get I wouldn't be surprised at all if this weekend or by Monday, Bitcoin didn't actually drop to 74,000. It's 10% down more. I get it, but the levels are calling it. Let me just pull up my chart over here.
I could see it, and it would still be support with the current range that we're in.
That's right. It would still be support. So let me just share it here real quick. So this level over here, this VWAP level, is still hanging out at 74. And for me, the only thing that can invalidate this level as invalidate this level is if this yearly moving average actually crosses above that level.
Mhm.
Um, I've made the case before that if you actually take a look at the yearly moving average for Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin is in an uptrend, we're always above that level. So that's this red one over here. So we break above, and then we always stay above as long as we are in the bull trend, and then it breaks below when we're headed into the bearish territory. So this is the level, and we break below. And actually, if you go back on the longer Bitcoin chart, it always happens. You'll see that that's always the case. That as long as it stays above that level, we're bullish, and we're below it, it's bearish. And so for me, until here on this chart, it's just starting to cross. Depends which Bitcoin chart you're looking at. Just starting to cross. If this finishes this weekend, then I say that the lows are in. That this was the low for Bitcoin.
Mhm.
That we're running up. And if we don't, I think we do revisit that level. So that's what I think will actually happen. But even if we don't get all the way down there, I think we still get to 80, 82.4 this weekend, with a possible somewhere down here to 76, like some trip down. But I think we broke this bear flag, and that we should at least cross down to collect this daily VWAP, which is at 76. That's what I think happens. Do you see
Okay.
76? Please tell me you see 76.
Yeah, between 74 and 76. I think either one is possible, but the 76 is largely just because that's where the most recent wick found support. But 74 was the last breakout period that started this new range for me, 74 250. So I think anywhere in that range seems plausible to me.
Right. I remember at the top over there where you were the basically the last red mark at the top.
Mhm.
I remember you were telling me that hey, we could head back down over here, and I was like, oh wow, that's I thought that was a pretty bold call that you were saying back then, and look at that, it came right back down to that level. It was
Bitcoin
unbelievable.
Bitcoin loves to range, that's for sure, and that's been consistent with every chart I've looked at for 8 or 9 years now on Bitcoin.
Right.
It's a very technical asset, so there's some expectation that we retrace and confirm ranges of price, and that's definitely what's happening here. But even just from a Fibonacci measurement perspective, if we're just going here to here, it retraced by about 50%. I still think we could go a little bit lower, but I think that seems unlikely, just given that I put a lot more weight and emphasis on support and resistance than Fibonacci.
I understand. Actually, I should pay more attention to Fibonacci. You bring that up more and more, and I'm like, okay, is this another VWAP thing that I should pay attention to?
Maybe.
Well, the last thing I want to say on this guy here is just to bring up the your liquidity indicator here, the M2 global liquidity supply, and I've been making the case for the offset that you need for that to be 78 days, um,
Mhm.
because and I don't think it's coincidental that this run up in liquidity with the 70-day offset happens right at
Happens to
April
coincide
2nd.
with April too. Yeah. Interesting.
Exactly,
Mhm.
and I didn't set it up that way. That just happens to be the case.
Yeah.
Um, and this low over here, which is exactly like the low that we're experiencing right now. Um, so this low over here, uh, in liquidity, it's a lower low. This was a lower low than the previous one that we had at this drop over here.
Yep.
So it doesn't mean for sure that this gets lower still, but I find it hard to believe that's not going to be the case if this is a bear flag. And I don't know if you've been seeing people everywhere online talking about like this bear flag going, is it too obvious? It's too obvious of a bear flag, so it probably
So don't
won't
trust
play
it.
out.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
understand. I was arguing with some today about that. I go, the bear flag gets painted because people think that. Do you not understand that? It gets painted that way because people go, no, no, it can't be. This is not really going to be the case, and then it reverses down, and they go, oh, that's why. How else do you think the bear flag gets up to where it needs to be? Anyways, I digress. People talk about patterns in the charts, the shapes, and they don't understand that we're the ones doing it. Like
It,
we're making the
it
pattern.
it is a form of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Sure, we're all participating in the same analysis. It's just like our question around the 200-day moving average. If everybody's looking at the same, it ends up being a potential reason that you make decisions around. And enough people do it, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
TradersPost is an automated trading platform designed to take the friction out of executing your strategies. Whether you're trading stocks, futures, or crypto, TradersPost connects seamlessly to your broker or exchange, giving you the flexibility to automate your trades without missing a beat. If you're tired of being the bottleneck in your own success, it's time to let automation do the heavy lifting. Head over to traderspost.io and see how easy it is to streamline your trading. TradersPost, because your strategy deserves to run at full speed.